I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We thank everyone for being here. This is Bryan City Council meeting for May the 4th, 2015. First on the agenda is the approval of the minute for the April 20th meeting. You have those with you there, gentlemen.
I move that we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Item 2 on the agenda is hearing of public concerns. Is there anyone who would wish to address the council at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3, which is an ordinance. Please number and read.
Ordinance number 14, 2015, an ordinance to authorize a farm rental agreement with Norshaton Ltd. for Bryan Industrial Park North and declaring an emergency.
You also will see an attachment to our lease agreement for this farm lease, and the Board of Public Affairs had some farm agreements before with different farmers, and when they set up this agreement, they wanted to make sure that they covered all their bases in case we have to move somebody in there quickly and so forth. So I guess they talked to 3 different individuals that had interest in farming, and this was the best one they could have. They wanted to put alfalfa on there this year, but because of the corn stubble and everything, that's not going to work. So I think they're planting beans in there right now, and probably then the next year it would go to alfalfa, which is a more controllable, lower crop than corn or anything of that nature.
So we're going to plant on ground available
Yes,
until it's purchased.
yes,
In this agreement, and I know you did say if somebody moved in there that we can get in it.
Yes.
Do we have to reimburse the farmer then for that acreage?
Yeah,
And how do we set a price on that?
really the Bryan and the BPA has been in negotiation with them for that.
Okay.
That will be taken care of, and as it was with the other one when they bought the solar field.
So it's something to, I'm doing this for the public. It's something with the idea of offsetting costs
Yes.
while it remains
Farmer,
vacant. Okay.
Otherwise, we had to mow it or anything like that.
Yep.
That gets expensive
I think
too.
paragraph 8 addresses that.
Well, again, I apologize, Mayor, but I was doing this for the public.
They would have liked had their meeting been first and ours second, and we got to move on it because it's time to plant the ground now.
Yep. I move we suspend.
And I'll second that.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Also notice it's Bryan Industrial Park North.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to pass.
Second?
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Okay, number 4 on the agenda is another ordinance. Please number and read.
Ordinance number 15, 2015, an ordinance providing for annual appropriations for the city of Bryan for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2015, and declaring an emergency. This is an appropriations request for $3,000 for the cemetery fund for operating supplies for the purpose of purchasing trees.
If you remember, we had a donation of trees for the cemetery last, I guess it's been 2 years now.
2013.
2013, and this is, they've got the trees ordered, ready to plant them soon, and this is putting the money in the account in the cemetery so they can move those trees in there. That was from the Keller family.
Make a motion to suspend.
I'll second that.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Motion to pass?
Second.
Tommy?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Number 5 on the agenda is permission for hiring a full-time patrol officer. Chief Willis.
Council, with the resignation of Corey Bush, that opened up a road patrol position, and I am just asking permission to hire a person to fill that position. I'm currently doing backgrounds on people, and just want to get permission to continue on that.
I'm not sure how this works, but I'm assuming do you have resumes already in? And
Yes, it's from
they have to
the
be
last
certified or
civil service
something, is
test.
that correct?
Civil service.
Think
Civil
they're going to
service
have a
or-
certified
Yes.
list
Yes.
in this. Yeah.
I recommend you go proceed with hiring an officer.
I'll second.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Thank you.
We assigned on that.
No. Maybe next time.
Okay, number 6 on the agenda is the employee status change for the recycling department. Tyson?
Yes, Brad Motter has taken the test and passed his CDL test. He has a Class B with air brakes, and along that, he gets an increase in pay.
Brad's been working at that for some time, and that will help replace Wes
Warren.
or Warren Holbert, yes, along that line. So we have another person there now with the CDL. And it took effect Monday because
I'll
that's
make a
when
motion
payroll
we-
changed, yes.
Hire.
I'll
or
second.
Promoted.
I'll second.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just those. Yeah, right there. See the picture in the back? Yep, you got it.
I don't know. Get these. Okay, number 7 on the agenda is a resignation from the fire department. Chief Siders.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
You have a letter before you from not only myself, but also from Keaton Grubb. I'm asking council to accept Keaton's resignation from the fire department. He's moved out of the area, and he's no longer able to meet his obligation with the city.
Well, that's not good news for you. You're kind of short-handed anyhow, aren't you?
Yeah,
What's the count on the
it'll be 24
volunteers?
with the volunteers, yes. All total.
24 total with
Total.
No, I make a motion, we accept it with regret.
I'll second that.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that completes our agenda at this time. This time we'll go around the room, see if anyone has anything to add. Tyson?
That truck dirty yet?
No, we wash it every day.
Mother Nature took care of that this afternoon.
Yep. The recycling department asked me to come or say something tonight about the trash trying to be recycled, or the things being put in the tubs that aren't recyclable. like to start with the tubs out in front of the recycling center. Those are for recyclables only. And they come in every night and dump those tubs, and then on the weekends, they dump them 2 or 3 times every Saturday or Sunday. And when they get in there, they're half full of trash. You know, anything from siding off of houses, which the aluminum is recyclable, but vinyl siding, we don't have any way to get rid of that. We don't have anybody to buy it. So it ends up going in the trash. And shingles, there's been toilets out there, TVs, and people are driving in and unloading all their trash out in the dumpsters out front. We asking to not do that.
That's where you have the garden waste are in there, lawn and garden waste.
Right,
And they're putting other stuff in.
Well, there's separate tubs for the
Yes.
recyclables and the newspapers and magazines. And then there's 2 tubs or 3 tubs for grass, for bush trimmings. And the recycling containers are getting filled with trash.
We're monitoring that too, right?
Right, there's cameras out there,
Cameras.
but
We can,
if they park just right, we can see their license plate, but it's hard to figure out who's doing it because, you know, on the weekends and at night, nobody's there. So it's kind of on the honor system, and we're losing. And then along with that, the red tubs that everybody has at home, those are for recyclables only. Because, you know, any given day, when you see that truck going back to the recycling center, it's probably at least 1/4 to 1/3 trash inside that trailer that they pick up, dump in, haul it to the recycling center, dump it on the floor, and then load it on the table and have to sort each piece by hand. Every piece that gets recycled is touched by the human hand. We don't have any automatic sorters. So
As-
that all has to get sorted.
Has it been a while since we've listed in the paper what's recyclable?
We
it was
do it
all just a couple weeks ago.
every year for
Earth Day.
Earth Day.
Everything.
And every year when we hand out garbage bags, we hand out the paper that says what's recyclable and what's not.
Yeah,
You
okay.
know, some of the big things that they asked me to mention that's in the recycling tubs is dog and cat feces,
Oh,
which ends up on the table that they have to stand there, and I'm not trying to be gross.
No, that's
And I can
okay.
get a lot gross because there's a lot worse things that end up in those tubs than that. You know, if you use diapers,
yeah.
it's just hypodermic needles, used insulin syringes, end up in the recycling tub. You know, they might put them in a milk jug or a laundry soap container, but by the time it gets to the recycling center, it's dumped out all over the table. I mean, those need to go in the trash. And then another big thing is the plastic grocery sacks. I mean, they say they're recyclable, but we don't have any way to recycle them. We can't sell them to anybody around here, let alone tie up a baler trying to make a bale, because it takes so many bags to make a bale. It's not worth.
Are there some stores that will take them
Walmart,
back?
Walmart will take them back, and I think Goodwill will take them, because they use them when they sell their stuff.
Does Walmart take any of them or only their own?
I don't know about that.
And then
Well,
you,
Goodwill take any, I'm sorry.
you put the, if you have them, then just put it in the black bag, right?
Yeah, if you want to get rid of your grocery sacks, put them in a Bryan bag.
Bryan
And we'll
bag.
throw them
Yeah.
away, because that's what we do with them now.
Yeah.
But now they have to get sorted.
People
On the
get a
table.
little careless. We have a good thing going. We don't want
Right.
Yes.
to destroy it.
You know, and then this time of year, a big thing is the flower pots. People buy flats of flowers and go home and
Yeah.
plant their flowers. Well, those say they're
Plastic.
recyclable on the bottom of them, but we don't have any way to get rid of them. That's, one thing Mike said to tell everybody is if there's a lid that screws on or off, it's recyclable. If it doesn't have a screw-on lid,
Well, that's,
we can't recycle it.
No, I didn't know that one.
that's a new
That's
one,
good.
I think.
Okay, that's good.
Other than like coffee cans, the plastic coffee cans, obviously those don't screw on and off, but those are recyclable. But
The recycling number on the triangle, do you have only certain ones that you want of those, and there's,
I want to say it's number 2 plastic. But, I mean, anything you buy anymore has a recycling symbol on it.
yes.
And there's only certain things that we in the city can recycle. And it's all on our website. And if anybody has a question, they can call either the recycling center or the street department, and we can tell them if they have a question on anything.
Fluorescent light bulbs, those are to be taken out to be,
BMU will take those.
yes.
My first reaction to the one issue in regards to the bends out there, you know, I guess we put something in the paper, this is happening, you know, this is what is happening, things like that. For me, honestly, if it continues, the public doesn't understand that, you know, then we do something else, like we either take them away or we set it up whereas that they have to come through there at certain hours. And if we have to station somebody out there, you know, things like that, you know, that's a service.
Right.
It's an absolute service that we're giving the citizens of Bryan. And there's whatever percent that is, that's causing the issues is gonna, it's that old 80-20 theory, you know? And so I guess I would look at it that way. The other thing is with the bends, the red bends, is that if you're having that stuff in those red bends, and if, and I know those guys are doing their job, and they're, you know, they got things ahead of them to do, and they got a certain, you know, I mean, every day they got to pick up X amount, things like that. If they just happen to see something, or they just rake their hand through there, or they got gloves on, rake their hand through there, and they see diapers, they see whatever the case may be, boom, it's sitting there at the curb. I'm not dumping it.
We do
You know?
that. They do that. If they see something, you know, like that, they'll leave it and wait for them to call and ask why we left their tub. And then we explain to them why it got left. But, you know, when the tub's keeping full,
Yeah, I
mean, they
understand that.
can't
You
stand
can't catch
at
all of it.
the
Yeah.
side of the trailer and sort through it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
some of it, they don't see it, gets dumped in,
right.
and it's dumped on the
Right.
floor and then loaded with the skid steer onto the table. And by then, it's spread all over.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that they're
Right, we
paying for.
do.
They're paying for, you know, I mean, you know, that's part of their monthly fee and things like that. But again, you know, if it's costing us more money to do that, then, you know, it's a losing proposition for us anyhow. But, so I would say that we really pump it in the paper and let the public know that, hey, if this continues, we're gonna have to take other measures here. And if that means eliminating something, we eliminate it.
You know, another thought might be, and I know it'd take a little extra time for those guys to have them. If they had a pamphlet, they could, if they leave it, you'd have the pamphlet say, this is what's gotta be in there and that only. And that would
They
get the
do.
message right to the person.
They do. They've got a roll
Okay.
of tape and a stack of,
Yep.
I was gonna say, it's
They
out
do.
there, it's marked. People are just disgusting about that stuff, that's all there is to it.
Not all, but
Well, I'm
Just
not,
not
I'm
the
not
ones doing
talking
it.
generic, I'm talking about the people that do it.
yeah.
And I would bring some up, this is one of Tommy's favorite subjects, I think, but it's a good time to talk about the all garbage pickup. I've still seen people from out of town unload their trucks in front of people, and I'm telling you, you know, in the short time I'm still here, if I see it, I'm turning them in. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but when you see a truck come from out of town and they're dumping on a terrace, it's not fair to our guys.
Well, having said that, you know, the cost of us for the all trash pickup has gone up, and, you know, we've discussed the possibility that down the road, we may not be able to do that anymore. And I like having that luxury to be able to do that. And the abuse is going to cause some problems down the road, and we can't have that. Same way with, you know, I don't want to fill my garbage bag full of recyclable materials. I like having the recyclables available, but the abuse is what's going to end up costing us that luxury of being able to put those recyclables out there. And we just got to be careful as citizens of Bryan that we don't lose that because of a few people that are causing a problem.
One more thing I forgot to mention is styrofoam is not recyclable in Bryan. Because once again, we don't have any way to get rid of it. So it was the plastic bags, styrofoam, and the flower pots. The three biggest things. And then the, you know, the common sense things like dog and cat litter and hypodermic needles. I don't know of anywhere that recycles that. So,
I think, Tyson, with your flower pots, people get a little bit confused because when you're done in the fall, then they set on the all pickup. They just set their pots on the ground.
right, we'll pick them up on the Tuesday of the all trash.
On
But
the all
I mean, you can
trash.
drive down the road and see recycle tubs stacked that high
Filled
full
with
of
that, yeah.
black flower pots.
When you say the needle's not still in those, are they?
Yeah.
This needle is still
Yeah.
in the, oh geez. Okay.
been the
You know,
case.
you don't know
You know,
what those
they're
needles
supposed to take
are.
those and put them in a milk jug or a laundry jug with the cap screwed on it and either put in a Bryan bag, or if you want to write syringes on the bottle and set it out on the Tuesday all trash pickup on the side of the pile so we can see it, you know, so the guys can see what it is and we'll pick it up. But to just throw it in your recycle tub,
Ever
It's
heard
not
of,
hazard.
ever heard of one of the guys getting stuck with one?
not yet.
Thank goodness. That's a fear. That's a fear, not knowing what they are.
That's all I got for now.
Good comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Willis, do you have anything to add? No, sir. Okay, Chief Siders. Okay. Tommy, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
And do you,
I read nothing today.
Dick?
No, nothing.
Dick?
Other than that, I feel bad about the fire in Eden.
Yes.
Those of us who serve on these committees and understand the cost of those things, and I'm sure the mutual aid thing was a very, very helpful thing, and especially going down the road to help them out. But that was a sad thing too. I just got home and I picked up the Facebook and there it was right on the screen, and that I couldn't believe it, and sad thing for the community.
Okay. Okay, I got a little speech here that I want to address to the public, and that is, I have a fear of people out walking in the streets and jogging in the streets, especially when there's sidewalks right there, that's a problem. But they wear dark clothing. It's a problem that they can't be seen at times, or they're seen at the last second. We already had a resident killed a year or two ago, and wearing dark clothing. There's no reason they cannot wear a vest that will reflect and so on like that, and yet it's disturbing for the drivers, and it's very tough. I know that some of the sidewalks aren't even, they want to jog out there even with their sidewalks, but I really feel that this is a problem, and I'm going to keep saying something about it, because it's too often that there's people out there and they're expecting the drivers to see them. So, and we drivers usually do, but sometimes it's dangerous. So that's my spiel. Okay, Mayor?
Keith,
Yes.
I would echo that. That's a good point. We have subdivisions in this town that have no sidewalks, and a lot of people walk in the street at night, and it is dangerous. You can drive by them and not see them if they've got dark clothing on. That's a very good point.
Okay. Lori, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay, now, Mayor?
Yeah, a couple things you had in your folder, this certificate, and that was sent to us, said, may it be known that the certificate has been presented to the city of Bryan for its effort in preventing accidents and injuries in the workplace. It's an achievement award. It's given by the Black Swamp Safety Council, co-sponsored by Northwest State Community College, and it comes out of the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation, which Steve Buer heads up now. I might say we have a lot of our workers take this safety training when it's offered. We have Melanie from the engineering office goes to meetings down at the college to represent us, along with Jackie at BEMU. And it's good to get this kind of award that we do practice safety for our workers. So we want to congratulate them again for getting this award and keep going to the workshops that prevent injuries. That's one thing. And then I mentioned last time that the Legislative Day, sponsored by the Ohio Municipal Electric Association, is May 19th, Tuesday. It's a 2 to 5 lecture, so to speak, and then a 5 to 7, you get a chance to meet your elected officials down at the Rife Center in Columbus. In this program, and I can't pick it out right now, but they ask anyone going, I have to fax the names in by May 15th down there. There's so that they have an idea who's coming, and then they let the legislators know that you will be there. So barring that they're not in session, they will arrange a time to be down there to meet and greet. So it's a good time for that. The other thing is that Dan called me from the chamber and mentioning that they're looking at Bryan's 175th anniversary. If you look at the water tower uptown, 1840 to 2015, 175 years. The parade itself, they have another theme this year for the parade, but suggested perhaps maybe our entries into the parade could recognize the 175 years and whatever, and talk with Bryan Carlin, and they're working on something maybe from the BPA end and maybe from our end. Talk to department heads. We thought maybe we could put a float together or something that goes down the line, but just a little something for 175 years for Bryan. So, well, any of you have any comments, or if you're going to drive old cars, maybe you can put 175 years by it, whatever. So, that's 175 years. And then Tyson and I are watching closely. May 7th is when our summer salt bids come into the state. And we're hoping that we'll see how that summer salt bid comes in. We have committed ourselves to 300 ton, which will add to the tonnage that we have in the barn right now for a summer fill-up. I don't think 300 is going to fill it up, but come pretty close. And then right after that, then we have the opportunity to either go state bid for the winter or go out on our own and try to get a good price. And some of the cities, I know one particular has already gone out on their own altogether and got it under $100 a ton. So maybe the salt prices will come down, but we'll know May 7th when that state bid comes out on our summer fill-up. So
Senator can understand that, why we can't go out on our own. And last year we couldn't, and the year before we couldn't.
Yeah.
We got mandated by the state.
yeah.
And
The state
yet,
feels they can-
there are times when some of these communities are doing it.
But yet, when you call the companies, and I called 4 of them last Friday because I heard of this little bid. I think they got it for $93 or $94 a ton. When I call the companies, that's the first thing they ask you: are you on the state contract bid? So that they're not going to give you any figures.
Well, you know, that my feeling is that's because they're jacking the price up to the state, and that's how we're paying the high dollar.
Yeah.
And we don't know, but I'll bet.
Yeah. Well, we're watching that. We'll watch that closely and see where we're going to go on that. So.
Are you being skeptical then?
Absolutely. I think we're being screwed. You can use that term any way you want to.
I guess that's all that I would have.
Okay. If there's nothing else to be added to this meeting, we will call for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Dick Wright?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.